bullshit. That's another judge who should retire. No question about it.
Richard, when are you talked about coming back to DC?
And he's coming here now.
When are you coming back? Is he going to come back? I mean, he's got an unbelievable tradition.
If we are gonna, if it's gonna be Stevenson next, if that's what we want to do, it might be here, it might be at the Barclays Center, it might be in Canada. I mean, we're going to go where we can make the most money.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bernard.
There was some adjustments. It's awkward as hell.
Bernard, what is it about DC?
You want to sit down?
Wait.
And April in DC. April 19 years ago.
Other than being a public practice.
No, I mean, seriously, April 19 years ago, April 29th, you beat Segundo Mercado.
It motivates me. It motivates me every time I come to DC, Dan Raphael's town. Because, I mean, it goes all the way back from the Segundo Mercado. I mean, yeah, I won the first title, and I don't want to pick on Dan. I think he was working for the USA Today at the time. And also for Roy Jones, the great Roy Jones, and for the vacant IBF title that James Toney had vacated, if my memory didn't rob me. So coming to DC, as you see, I mean, you thought I was at the Blue Rising. I mean, look, the dressing rooms I mean, it took me way back to my 8-round fight. No disrespect. I've seen that type of feeling again. You know, I'm no fancy dressing room. I'm laying on the floor, and I'm getting ready to go on about 11. You know, some stoppage because of the 12 rounds of pre-championship fights. So, listen, man, I train so hard. Everybody here that know me, no matter how y'all might feel about my personality sometimes, but one thing that I just want to know before I leave this game, that I gave it my all. I gave it my all. And let me tell you, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world right now is Floyd Money Mayweather. But I'll tell you, behind Andre Ward, who I believe is second, it should be, I ain't too far from the top 3 now. And I mean, because I feel, because my age and the way I'm doing it, y'all, I'm not fighting cream puffs. And again, it's no plea. I'm just telling you, I'm not done yet. This is the second door, like I told Richard. I really prayed on this. I talked to my family, I talked to everybody. I said, I must be the light heavyweight undisputed champion before I leave, because no one ever done this in boxing. And I want the hardest puncher, the baddest threat, because without a threat, I'm not saying I ain't motivated, but it won't be as spicy to y'all, and it won't be so spicy to the history of boxing and the fans. And, listen, I'll go anywhere they pay the most. You know how Richard thinks. He's ex-banker.
You had two of your, you know.
I've been in Canada. I love Canada. They got a big fan base for Bernard Hopkins out there. And let me tell you something. This fight would do well at the MGM, but this is his job. One thing about Richard.
At the Barclays Center here,
exactly. A lot of people's going to be bidding on the fight, and Richard always spoke for me, and I never did the media and start talking and then let him go ahead and do cleanup work. We save each other headaches by not doing that. And so my thing is, the ones I talked to you many times, and I talked to Dan many times, is that I set out to be the best in the light heavyweight division. I'm thirsty for that, y'all, like I was at the middleweight division. Believe it or not, I know y'all might think it's crazy because I'm 49 years old. But you see a guy in there that can fight, that gave me some awkward problems, but I never wavered. Got hit with some good shots, but I never wavered. And let me tell you, I didn't underestimate him. As you've seen, my 12-round performance, I tried to stop him. He's tough. And I'm still on my drought of, when the last time I knocked Oscar out in 2000. So I can't get a damn knockout.
When you drop,
listen, I'll tell you, I retire if I get a knockout.
When you drop,
you know I'm gonna be around 80 years, right?
When you drop,
you know I'm gonna be around till I'm 80. I retire y'all when I get a knockout.
What are you going for? When was the last
time? You dropped them in the 11th. What were you thinking?
I was going for it. He wrapped me up pretty good. But I was going for it.
That's got to be the hardest punch you've thrown in a few years.
Yeah.
Was that your last?
Yeah, you're right. I never had a knockdown. I broke that record though. So that's over with. That drought is over. So maybe the knockout will come when I fight Stevenson.
Did the split decision surprise you, Bernard?
Say it again. It was. I mean, look at me, Dan. I'm 49 years old. Do I have a blemish?
You look so relaxed.
You look like you haven't even been in a fight.
I was so in my living room watching Archie Bunker.
You're the oldest man now to unify medals on another
page. that I hope y'all don't get bored with. Keep putting these pages in there, seriously. You know what, Dan? History is something that you just, I mean, money is great, but history is to me, is something that you can never get rid of. You can never act like it never happened in any sport. So I'm glad to do that, Dan. I worked so hard for this fight. And you seen it in the ring. That was 12 really action rounds. Majority of those rounds was pretty action round. And he pressed me. He pressed me and I renewed him. I had to use my IQ. Just like I used in the last few fights in my career, really, my whole career. A lot of these guys, Dan, in any weight division, that's reasonable for me to win. I mean, make. Whether I go down, whether I stay up. I'm telling you, I'll give anybody in any weight class. I don't care if they're undefeated, got a loss, 1 or 2, I'll give anybody a run for their money. If not, take their own and give them their first loss.
Bernard, can you talk about the setting up the right hand?
Come on, y'all know what it is. I mean, I don't want to down my sport. Y'all know better than I do. What I'm going to do, talk about it and scream and all that? I mean, you know that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I let y'all do that instead of me like I'm complaining because it is what it is. I mean, it don't make us look good amongst the NBA playoffs and NFL I mean, it's hard when people tell you that, you know, Bernard, I love this sport, but it's the red light district. I mean, I got a lot of business, corporate friends, and they look at boxing as the red light district. I mean, and that's one of the reasons. Like, what are they watching? I mean, you got 3 people watching the same fight and get what?
Way different.
So there's a 2-time 116, 111, and I think even those two were wrong. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I wonder what y'all have been writing if they'd have gave it to him split decision.
I had you winning the last 10 rounds.
And I shut him out.
Yeah. Richard, can you give your view on what Bernard?
Absolutely amazing. Keep on turning back the clock, making history. Clearly the best light heavyweight, no question about it. I agree with Bernard. He should be in the top 3 pound for pound as well. I mean, fight after fight, he turns in these performances against guys who could be his son.
Bernard, can you talk about setting up?
No, don't stop that.
Bernard,
I'll give it back to you.
Bernard, can you talk about? Can you talk about how you set up the right hand over the course of the fight? Talk about how you were setting up the right hand over the course of the
he's
fight.
a straight up fighter. He leans back and steady, you know. He don't have the best defense, but he tries.
No defense.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him at the break. I got to spell it. I won't give it back. But look, he don't have no defense, and I seen that I can hit him with the right hand. But he also waits for you to throw a right hand so he can counter with his. His left hand is appalling left hand, just to set the right hand up. Do he got a little whack? Yeah, he can buzz you if he hits you right, but he's not a sharp puncher. He's more of a thumping, sledgehammer type of puncher, heavy-handed.
You connected on 49% of your punches. I mean, that's
49 years old, 49%.
I didn't do that when I was 30.
He was trying to do some things, but you wouldn't let him.
I wouldn't let him. I think that he was really surprised of the way I can stand there and let him miss. I didn't use my legs up. I didn't run. You know, I didn't jump in out of danger and get back in. I stayed in the pocket. I had my better moments on the ropes.
Bernard, that feeds into my question. Could you please talk more about the mental aspects of what you did to him in the ring?
Mental?
Yeah, I mean, you were playing mental games with him as well.
Yeah, but I had to. I mean, I was getting rest. I mean, when you got to get rest, man, you got to do, you know, the shoes untied. You come up with all kinds of stuff.
You were demoralizing him.
Well, yes. I mean, there's no crime with that.
No.
I got to talk to the guy, and if he believes some of it, he won't hit me back.
Was it fun? When was the last time you had this much fun?
No, I promise I won't do that.
That's what I
When
was
was the last time you had this much fun in a fight?
I was sitting next to Broner and to Garcia, and they both said, "Oh, he's having fun."
I was having fun around the 4th round.
I can never remember a fighter looking so relaxed.
I wanted to show that I could stand in the pocket. You know, Bernard Hopkins and the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather, can stand there in front of you and make you miss. That's a gift we have. I mean, you see me reflect punches and stand right in the pocket. I mean, you seen it was like, you call it the Matrix in Philly. You call it the Matrix, where you don't have to run and get out of position because I want to counter you. I was throwing them short shots with the karate chops. I never turned my hand this way. I stabbed him like this. Wow. He said, oh. Because as soon as he threw a punch, he committed himself. And I seen his ribs and I just pushed it. That takes something out of you after a while. I'm hitting lungs, I'm hitting the stomach, I'm hitting your ribs. And after a while, you feel that. And he said, oh, and he backed up. I said, I got him now. And that set up that right hand.
When you hit him with the right hand, what were you? Did you really try to go after?
I wanted to be patient, not overshoot the runway and get overexcited because I knew he was hurt, but how hurt? And he went down on one knee, which is smart, and he bought some time. And I, started to try to get him again. He grabbed me the bell rope.
But realistically, at this stage, how far up can you go and how far down can you go?
And weight, it all depends on who it is. I wouldn't do it for two rounds. 2 pounds.
I mean, you won't make that much money against me.
No. Realistically, the far as I go down, it's depending on how much time. I can make 65, 68 real good, real comfortable.
Can you talk about your role in trying to make sure that...
Excuse me, Dan.
Sorry.
You know, I was weighing 81, 82 2 weeks before the fight, sparring with guys that's cruiserweight so I can get that weight and fight at a weight that I know that I'm going to be fighting in the ring. I came in 72.3 on purpose. And I seen everybody's face looking like who the hell fights at light heavyweight coming at 72? And I said, if you remember, Richard, anybody who was at their weigh-in, I said that was on purpose. When I fought Oscar De La Hoya, Barbara made it strictly clear that I won't get that fight unless it was at 158 pounds for my undisputed middleweight championship. I came in, Google it right now, 155. Yep. Shocked everybody because I knew that they was using that as a negotiation stumbling block. Think I'm gonna be weak. I came in at 155 and everybody said he overtrained. Just like for this fight, I heard whispers, it got back to me. I did it for a statement. They said, wait a minute, he's 72 and he only got to make 75? But I was 81 2 weeks ago, sparring at Danny's gym with cruiserweights that can fight and got records.
Bernard, do you want to... You're talking about going for the making this fight with Steve. He's got a win in May.
Correct. And then we're going to start.
If something else big, I'll take that.
Well, I think it's a terrific matchup. I believe this is a big fight for Bernard, big fight for Stevenson.
Richard will get it. He'll get it. If he can make it, we'll go over the most money.
I'm going to go and talk to Al, and we're going to put it where we can make the most money.
Exactly. Do it here.
You see, I will get it done.
I will get it done.
You want it to get done before you turn 50, Bernard?
Of course.
Listen, I want to be the undisputed light heavyweight champion this year. He can have it on my birthday on Saturday. What is it? No, seriously. Whatever between now and January, all right? If it's a week after January, my birthday, who cares? Y'all still will promote it as he's 50, right? So that makes it even sweeter. Between now and January 15, 2015, let's do it.
Is this the
yes,
best
sir.
right hand you've had?
Say it again.
Is this the best right you've had?
That was the best one that connected.
Yeah. The whole fight. Looked like his hand was down, his left hand.
Yeah, well, that's how he boxed. He's European. You know, he blinds you with it, he dangle it, and then, you know, you try to punch off
so
that.
you were going in with the right
Yeah,
hand.
I disarmed him. I disarmed him from his right hand because I kept my shoulder up with the roll. So when he throws his right hand, it gives him the delusion that he can hit me, but if it ricochets off my shoulder, then I know he's close and I can touch him. I can stab him in his middle of his chest, or I can stab him in his stomach.
Did he connect in?
Yes, he did. He connected. But I got a really decent chin. Anybody that been following me know that I can take a pretty good whack. I just don't get hit as often.
Bernard, even with the goal of doing that before 50, if you stop putting timetables on the rest of your career, at one point you said you were done at 40, if you just stopped and said, you know what, I'm just going to keep fighting until
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be with Richard with that suit on, and we're going to be signing fighters, and we're going to be doing promotion and boxing. With this man with the best suits, I already bought 15 of them, tell it too.
But at some point, I'm sure you will, but do you have any timetable on that anymore? Have you just
after I become the undisputed light heavyweight champion, if there's one big fight out there, and I think 50-50, he gets 50 wins, I turn 50, that'd be huge at 165, 170 pounds.
Bernard, you said that you talked about the...
I would love to do that, but let me get past Stevenson, because you know he can punch.
You talked about the beatdown that guys take when they fight you and how they're not the same. But this was more, I mean, he got hurt.
He didn't get a beatdown. He's
about mentally?
Mentally, he might not be right, because Kelly Pavlik didn't get beat down. Think about it. Kelly Pavlik didn't get beat down. But I mean, Shumenov, I mean, listen, he don't have a lot of, like, I'm not taking away from myself, but he will beat some guys out there. But he went up against, you know what I mean, a guy that's been around for a long time and fought the best. And hopefully he learned something from this, because that was schooling him. I was having fun. I mean, it wasn't an easy thing where I could win, but I couldn't, you know what I mean, one of the things that I had to train and like that. You see, if I wouldn't have done the things that I had to do to be a professional fighter and take my job serious, it would have been a problem in there. You agree with that? It would have been a problem, because he came game. But there was a student in there, good student, that had to understand that he was in there with one of the sharpest minds, one of the two sharpest minds in boxing that's happened to be fighters.
But what if he's thinking, what, like you said before the fight, that he lost to a 50?
I think the student didn't understand.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they never do.
What do you think? What if he is thinking that he lost to a 50-year-old, like you said before the fight?
Well, it ain't my problem no more. I mean, that's his problem. I'm not a therapist.
Dismissed. Class dismissed.
We were saying that it looked like you had a plan tonight and he didn't.
Well, I disarmed him. I think I said that.
He trains himself. He doesn't have.
But that, see, now let's not get into all that.
Why?
He got.
You beat you without a.
But you never know who comes in there and help him. You never know who comes in Vegas. Got plenty of trainers, plenty of people that can tell you to fight. Yeah, my beard is great.
Was that a?
But I don't. But I don't want to. I don't want.
Yours too,
But I don't want to. But see, what I want to understand is, I want people to understand that when a guy, when somebody say a guy doesn't have this hand, he's in Vegas. That's become one of the capital boxing entertainment places, and there's a lot of trainers that's in Vegas that I'm pretty sure he asked, how can I beat Bernard Hopkins?
Hey, what did you
know what I mean? And you got a lot of trainers that want to hustle themselves and say how they can beat Bernard Hopkins. Everybody got a game plan how they can beat Bernard Hopkins, just like everybody got a game plan how they can beat Floyd Mayweather. But when you get in there, it's a whole new different game plan. So to me, this is a fight that could have been an upset tonight because of how I'm taking this guy. Am I taking this guy serious? I'm 49 years old. I guarantee you we're going to have one of the best, highest history ratings in Showtime. And I'm saying it now, and nobody gave me a heads up yet. I got a feeling that it's going to be some big numbers for this Showtime double, triple hitter, championship fights, and all three fights to me was entertaining. At least two of them.
Bernard, there was no booze throughout this fight.
Not in DC, they love me. Kelly from this town, she made sure they don't.
So you think they really appreciated? My question is, do you think they really appreciated what they were seeing?
And Lisa.
Do you think they appreciated what they were seeing over the whole course of the fight?
You ain't hear nobody booing.
That's what I'm asking.
You entertained them.
Yeah, they weren't entertained. Y'all see my last two fights, I did things that y'all never see me do, come in hard-nosed, execution. But I see now that I live in two decades past my decade. And I see that entertainment and showbiz is a part of winning and part of entertaining. So I've turned into an entertainer the last two fights because I see that's what they want. And as you see, I'm getting a great response from that. I didn't take punches unnecessarily like I did last fight, let the guy hit me 3 or 4 times. But I did a couple of things to stay focused and step back into it because I did promise I wasn't going to do it.
What'd you say face-to-face after the fight?
Well, he was upset that I said things to him before the fight, and he's taking it to the heart. And I told him, I said, listen, rule number 1, I'm supposed to beat you before we fight. I mean, Ali was the best at it. These young guys don't know the history of boxing. He took it personally.
When you pointed to your head, what were you saying then?
Huh?
You pointed to your head when you're talking to him.
I told him the fight starts first here and then physical.
Bernard, if you become the undisputed champ, is the plan to defend that title and maybe get that one title that's not in your arms at 175?
I'm not going to. Once I become the light heavyweight champion, I ain't going to defend it. If I do a fight, it will be one of the biggest fights in the world, and it will be 50-50 the promotion. Figure out what that means.
But you're saying that there's
50 win. I know somebody in boxing want to get 50 wins and break Marciano record, and I'll be 50. We name the promotion 50-50. The biggest. We'll do that at Yankee Stadium. We'll do that one stadium somewhere.
But 165? I don't think he'll go up to 165.
Well, that's not. We'll see. You never know for $50 million.
We'll negotiate later. Bernard, what's the greatest individual accomplishment in sports you've ever seen?
That I've ever seen?
That you've ever seen.
In my period? Michael Jordan win, what, 5-6 rings?
Is what you've done here at 49, do you think that tops that?
I think that's up there. I think I'm up there with Miami Heat winning 2 or 3 straight, Michael Jordan, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers in the 80s, Lynn Swann, John Starwood. And I'm from Philly, and I remember them. They used to kick our butt.
I think you're being modest.
I believe.
You're way ahead of
You're way ahead of it.
But I'm saying they won. I mean, if they win, I'm saying if they got a chance to win 3, it's going to be tough this year. I'm a Heat fan, but I believe it's up there. And you know what? My thing is, Richard, that's what they do for a living.
They should tell me.
They would tell me, and I'm glad he asked me, but y'all would tell me, if not now, they're going to definitely tell me later on in time, that I want to do as much as I can where you will have that discussion he just mentioned. Where do you think you fit in sports, period? That's pretty deep to even ask me that. How many athletes will never get a chance to accomplish it or be asked, where do you place yourself at amongst any sport? That is deep.
Bernard.
And I'm going to give myself and my legacy and my name and my dignity, everything that I don't disrespect, the utmost opportunity and chance to have a strong debate as time goes on, whether it's this generation that's in front of me or some other generation.
Bernard, to follow up on his question, if you do face and beat Stevenson, you would be the lineal true light heavyweight champion, but there will still be another belt holder out there in Sergey Kovalev. So what interest, if any, do you have?
You got to ask Richard Schaefer that, because I'm a Showtime fighter. And I'm loyal to Showtime, I'm loyal to Richard Schaefer, I'm loyal to Al Heyman, I'm loyal to this side. So what I'm saying to you is that unless Kovalev comes here, on outside, across the street, we got a bed for him. We'll let him in the house.
But is the circle complete if you don't have all 4
Yeah, it's
titles?
complete, because who cares about WBO belt? When I won the middleweight undisputed title, I fought Oscar De La Hoya for the WBO, right? That was to make history, to be the first fighter that won 4 or 5 belts ever, right? Remember that? When I fought De La Hoya, it was the first fighter to ever win all 4 or 5 titles, right? I didn't forget about history, right? I ain't gonna ever forget about that. That's one of my history makings. So that's why I fought Oscar De La Hoya. If a chance to come that I don't have the WBO belt, the person that beats the man that beats the man become the guy. You got the ring belt, you got the WBC, you got the IBF, you got the WBA, you are the man. Y'all know that.
But take the belt away from him, he's still somebody that is part of the picture.
Not if he's across the street.
Okay.
If he's across the street,
he can cross the street.
He just killed Kovalev.
No problem.
Bernard, you keep mentioning Al Heyman. Are you now an Al Heyman fighter, or this is just business?
That's my friend. That's my friend. He's my friend. I can always ask him questions. I can always ask him business. He's my friend that I can come to. Me and Al Heyman go all the way back to Vernon Forrest days. If you remember Vernon Forrest, that was his first client. So I've been knowing Al Heyman over 15 years.
So Bernard, is this the most satisfying win? Was this your most satisfying win?
My satisfying win?
Is this the most satisfying win for you?
And it's been so many I lost. Count. It's the most.
Keep breaking history.
It's gratifying though. It's gratifying.
You knew what you were doing taking those belts the other day.
I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds good.
Let the man get some rest. All right, Bernard.